Greetings, programs. Welcome to the second review of, this non-podcast little week that we have here. I guess we probably will have more things. I guess not quite like this, but just videos that aren't podcasts coming soon. Once we're, more able to upgrade our equipment, because as we know, we don't have the greatest stuff, but we work with what we got. But now we are reviewing Tron Ares. Tron is a franchise that I've been a big fan of for some time now. I like the first movie. I love the second one. I watched these movies with our other co-host Nick, like last week or a few days ago actually. Oddly enough, he did not like Tron Legacy, which is unfortunate. Which his he hated pretty much everything that everybody else loved about it, because he hated the score, he hated the visuals, which blows my mind. But I guess I'm not. He's not here to defend himself, and I'm not gonna dog on him for that. So just I'm here to give my thoughts on it. Because myself, I love the visuals of Tron Legacy. I love Daft Punk's score of Tron Legacy. I think the story's great. It's fun. Like the only thing that bothers me of that movie is, I guess, the Jeff Bridges de-aging effect. But that's from the times, or whatever, 2010. But yeah, so. There's those two movies, and then there's the animated show Tron Uprising, which unfortunately only got one season and on a cliffhanger, but that is probably the best thing to come from this franchise, and so I'm hoping that this movie does well, so we can get not only more movies, but also hopefully even a continuation of that show, or like a finale or something from that. Or maybe they can use those plot points to build on for a sequel. Who knows? But yeah, let's get into Tron Ares. So, just looking at my notes here, we're going to start with non-spoilers. The first thing I want to touch on are the effects, the visual and the audio. Yes, visually, it looks like a Tron movie. We have the lights, the light bars, whatever, on the costumes, on the vehicles. Looks amazing, honestly. Honestly, these are probably some of the best effects is ever from the franchise. Because we have the vehicles, like the light cycles and the recognizers showing up in the real world, as seen in the trailers, and they look the most real that I've seen just from any movie in a long time. It's like even like movies like the best CGI you see in Marvel movies, or in Star Wars of recent times, like at their best, you can still tell that it's CGI, whereas like some of these vehicles, a lot of it is done practically, but like even like the giant recognizer, which has to be CGI, I'm watching this movie and thinking, that looks like there's an actual recognizer just flying through the city right now, and it was like that blew my mind. But yeah, just the effects were amazing. Now moving on to the score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails. What a task they had to do to follow up Daft Punk with that amazing score, and guess what? They did it. It's a very, very good score that they did here. I've been listening to it like over and over again over the last couple days, just because it's that good. It sounds very different from Daft Punk's score, but not to say that it doesn't belong in this franchise. It very much does. It still has that electronic sound, but this score is more mean, more aggressive, more industrial compared to, I guess, the more, calmer nature to Daft Punk's score, more cinematic, I guess, that Daft Punk had. Um, but yeah, it was amazing. It's a worthy follow up for a soundtrack. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be listening to that over and over again probably for the next week or two. So excited for that. And then the story itself was actually pretty good. No, it's pretty straightforward from the trailers. We have the character Ares coming into the real world, and I guess adventure ensues. I guess I'm not gonna spoil too much about it. Just I don't. I like going into movies as blind as possible, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys if you don't want to know too much. But yeah, I guess one other thing that fans were worried of, aside from like the soundtrack thing of with following up Daft Punk, is Jared Leto. Um, what whatever you think of Jared Leto for whatever reason, yes, I understand, but just his performance in this movie was actually pretty good. So I think that you'll be able to enjoy this movie and enjoy his performance. Is definitely one of his better performances from recent times. I guess not. I wouldn't say that he's been bad in like the Joker. I think the character that he was playing as a Joker was done well. It's just not that. It's not what the fans wanted from that. But what he was trying to do was done well. And I think that this is a role that doesn't have as many restrictions and won't have, I guess, as much of an uproar from fans because it's a new character, so people aren't gonna freak out. People aren't gonna freak out about that one. So, I guess let's go into spoilers now. So this is your spoiler warning for Tron Ares. So if you haven't seen Tron Ares, this is your time to leave. So, all right. I guess quick story time for spoilers. I've seen the movie twice now. The first time I watched it, I went for a 9:45 p.m. showtime. I walk into the theater at 9:44. So usually in most theaters, including the one that I go to, normally you go there and at the start time that's listed is actually when trailers start, and there's like 20 minutes of trailers. Well, I get there before the start time, about 1 minute before, and the movie has already started. So I missed some important, I guess, kind of important dialogue at the start, which really bothered me to start the movie with, because I'd say the first half of the movie, I was really like freaking out over just the fact that did I miss something big. I was able to piece things together anyway, just watching the movie, so I was fine. And then going back to rewatch the movie and getting to see that opening scene, or more of that opening scene, I found out that I didn't really miss much, but it's just, I guess I had that, had the monkey off my back, I guess, of worrying about that. The first time I watched the movie, I was very overwhelmed by the effects of the audio and the visuals, but the second time, I was very much able to, I guess be used to that and enjoy it more. As well as a story, I was very iffy on the story the first time. Second time, I liked it a lot more. I liked the performances more from all the actors, all the cast. The story is the grandson of Ed Dillinger, the villain of the original Tron. Julian Dillinger, his grandson. He has created Ares, who is supposed to be the first program to be like a soldier for the real world, and so he's using Ares to hack into Encom to get the permanence code so these Dillinger programs can stay in the real world without derezzing after 30 minutes. Um, and so Tron is going on, not Tron, I'm sorry. Ares is going on these missions, and he's slowly, like he wants the permanence code for himself so that he can just be his own person and not have to be a soldier or whatever. And yeah, I like that progression. Um, so he gets a permanent code. He fights the other program who's the main villain. He saves the new CEO of Encom. I'll get into Encom later. And yeah, he becomes a real boy, and now he's on a mission supposedly to find Sam Flynn. So I guess speaking of Sam Flynn and Encom, I guess the Flynns are in it besides a digital version of Kevin Flynn, but it's not really him because he died in the last movie. Which he was cool to see it inside the original grid of the original movie. That was a fun scene of Ares getting the permanence code. I was hoping to actually be able to see Sam and Cora in the movie. They don't appear besides a photo, which it's a bummer, but it's fine. It works for the story, and they're set up to hopefully return in a sequel if there is one, which I would very much like to see. But these new characters, I thought did a great job of holding down the fort and having a good, I guess, a good return to this franchise that we've been missing for 15 years. But yeah, just going into the future of the franchise, please go see this movie. See it in theater. Support not only the franchise, but to support your theater by seeing this movie in a theater. Even if you don't like this movie or you don't like certain cast members of this movie, see it anyway. Just so we can get more Tron. There's a lot of criticism of this movie for the various reasons, and I'm sure Disney is definitely hearing that and will fix those things in the next movie. And they teased the return of Sam and Cora. They're definitely going to return in the next one. If they do it, I hope they do. I love this franchise. I want to see more of it. But I forgot to give it a score. But I'll give it a 8, probably an 8 out of 10. It was very good. Clearly it's dividing the critics versus the audience. The fans of Tron love this movie. From what I've been seeing, I love this movie. This franchise has never been something that critics have liked. But it always delivers to the fans, and so if you're a fan of the Tron franchise, you'll like this movie. And if you want to see more of this franchise, please see this movie. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about Tron Ares. Go see it. Comment down below what you thought of the movie. Come back next week, or we'll hopefully be back to our normal full podcast with the other hosts and whatnot. It's October. We got all our decorations. We're probably going to be talking about some of our favorite horror movies and stuff in the future. So look forward to that. And thank you for dealing with just me for these last 2 videos. We'll probably have more things similar to this in the future, like I said in the last video. But yeah, enough rambling, I guess. That's pretty much what these last videos have been, besides because there hasn't really been a structure. But I thought one of us should get our thoughts out on these last 2 things of Tron and Peacemaker. So here it is. So Yeah. See you guys next time.